and welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Today I thought we'd just do kind of a day in the life of the Farm and Pastor's Wife video. I know it's not a cooking video, although there's going to be some cooking in there. Right now I'm pickling cucumbers and I'm trying to get that going. And the boys are walking chickens. Woo! I'm not going to go over the pickling process yet because I don't know if these, I have a problem. I don't know if these are going to turn out crispy. I've always struggled with getting my pickles crispy. So usually I just forgo making pickles. But y'all, I have cucumbers coming out my ears in the garden. I got to do something with these cucumbers. So, I thought I would pickle them. And, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is my Canon cobbler apron. Y'all, Bryant had a fit when I got this. He says, "You look like a grandma." And I said, "I am a grandma." But, y'all, it reminds me so much of my mom. But, it's cool, it's thin, it's sleeveless. And when you're canning and preserving, it's hot. So, so I ordered it online, and it's called a cobbler apron. And y'all, I used to make fun of my mama wearing stuff like this, and here I am ordering from the same silly little thin catalogs that she did. But y'all, I love it. I love it. I ordered a cobbler apron. I ordered a sleeveless terry cloth house dress. I ordered, oh, I ain't gonna tell you. Yeah, I will tell you what I ordered. I ordered a halter romper. I did that so when I mow the yard over at the chicken house, I always have these big strap suntan marks. And nobody comes over there while I'm mowing, or hopefully they don't. And so I've ordered a strapless halter romper terry cloth. I mean, I wouldn't be caught dead in it anywhere. And if somebody was to come to the chicken house, I'd probably duck in the chicken house and sit there with the chickens till they left. But yeah, I gotta get rid of those. And like my straps never land in the same spot, so I've got like a white mark here, then there's a little bitty brown mark, then there's a little So anyway, yeah. And I ordered it. You remember those really thin catalogs that had everything in it? It had those trays you could pull up to your recliner. It had, I mean, Bryant turned it to the page that had like rubber pants for incontinence. He says, "Leslie, this should tell you this is not your magazine." But y'all, I love this shirt. I know it's ugly as sin, but it's cool and it's comfortable. So I'm gonna keep pickling cucumbers. You're just gonna kind of go with me through the day. I'll bring you back in and out. We're on baby watch with one of our cows. We've been checking her every day, and I mean, she looks like she needs to go anytime. And so we're on baby watch. I'll probably take you over there with me. We're getting ready to do a low country boil here at the house. Caroline has invited her family, her friends. It's kind of to celebrate her birthday. And so she's invited the people, and I'm just hosting it. And so we're doing a low country boil. We've never done one before. So we've already bought the shrimp and the corn on the cob and the sausages. I know it's normally andouille sausages, but we bought kielbasa because I just like that better. And we got to go buy potatoes and big pans. And he's got to go pick up the pot to cook it in. We have one, so we're going to do 2 big pots of it. We got to get the house clean, the yard clean. We got a lot to do. And I'm pickling cucumbers. So y'all are just going to kind of go with me here and there. And I may do some cooking at the end. I just thought I'd show you a little bit what I'm doing now on the canning process. I'm going to do a video. Once I perfect the recipe, I'm going to do a video on pickles. So I just thought I'd show you. Oh, can't zoom. Sorry. what I'm doing here. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it this way. Well, hold on, y'all. Okay. I have laid my jar down on its side, and I'm just filling the jars up with pickles. So that's the easiest way to do it because you can just fill in the holes. Alright, that's just all I'm doing right now. I'm waiting up my vinegar and water and spices are getting hot. And I'm just filling my jars, getting ready to finish up. Hey guys, they are making fun of my shirt again. So anyway, tonight's supper is coming. Everything on our table tonight is coming from this farm. L&B Farms. The meat, the vegetables, everything on our supper table tonight is coming from L&B Farms. And I wanted to show you the meat. I'm doing a crock pot roast and a mixture of stew beef in there. Caroline and Jamie's coming and weren't sure the roast would be enough, so we put in some stew beef. So let me show you the package of the roast.
Alright guys, here's the packaging. We used a little meat processor in McLeansville, North Carolina. They're called Piedmont Custom Meats. We had a cow that was no longer able to be part of our herd, and so instead of sending this cow to the sale to go to a commercial butcher or anything like that, we decided that we needed some meat for our freezer, and so we took the cow and had it processed. And they process it however you wanted to. This label is actually made for our farm. We could sell this if we wanted to because this particular processing company is USDA inspected. You can see right here on the label they have a USDA inspection and all of that, and so therefore we could sell it if we wanted to, but we chose not to. We kept the majority of it for ourselves, except my sister wanted some, so we did hook her up there. So you see that beautiful roast in there right there. That green pepper came out of our garden, and the stew beef in the bottom, it came from our herd as well, the same cow. And so looking forward to a great supper tonight from the L&B Farms. You see some of our fresh produce we got right there. If you scan to the left, Miss Leslie will also show you later on. There's Miss Caroline, but there's some homemade dill pickles that she made this morning. She'll share that recipe in another video. But anyway, there's Miss Caroline. There's our beautiful daughter.
She's homegrown too.
And she turns 26 years old this weekend, and so we're excited to celebrate her and her birthday and the joy that she brings us as parents. So, all right, here's a little sneak peek of what's going on today at the Farming Pastor's House. Farming Pastor's Wife House.
Okay, so I sent the family to see if we had any potatoes because I want this whole dinner to come from our farm, and potatoes was the only thing missing. So I sent them to go see if we had any potatoes. So let's see what they found. Did you have any? Mm-hmm. Potatoes! Look, I got some good sized ones. Looky there.
And you're digging them about 2 weeks early.
Yeah, we're early. Awesome.
We didn't dig all of them up. We just dug a few.
How many plants?
5.
5 or 6. 7 or 8.
Okay, guys, so you know my plan for tonight is to have this whole meal come from our farm. I've gotten my potatoes. They went and dug those. I've washed them. I don't have them on to cook yet, but that's coming. What I've done now is I'm going to make a squash casserole. And I have sliced up some of the squash that came from our garden. I've sliced it up. I'm going to put a little bit of salt on it and stew it, get it soft. And then I'm going to head out to the garden and harvest one of our cabbage. Okay, guys, I'm out here. I think the caterpillars have gotten the outer leaves of my cabbage, but I think the actual head of my cabbage is fine. So I'm gonna harvest it now. Okay, I'm gonna get some of the outer leaves here. Maybe not that one. Oh, look at the caterpillars. Let's see if it went all the way through. Right there, my friends, is a beautiful head of cabbage. Okay, y'all, so that is the first head of cabbage I have ever grown.
It's pretty
And
store-bought.
It does look store-bought, don't it?
I think it looks prettier than store-bought.
So, there you go. Okay, y'all, so this meal I've told you is coming straight from our farm. Everything in it. And,
I was reading your shirt.
oh, don't show my rolls.
Home is where the farm is.
Home is where the farm is. So, there is a couple of items in this squash casserole that's not...
Y'all see that? Caroline and Isaac is working cleaning. That's a sight you don't see often.
And they're doing it together.
They're together. There's Hank,
Without
our
fussing.
dog. But anyway. Hey, come on.
Anyway, the squash in here came from our garden. The green pepper in here came from our garden. The onion came from our garden. The only thing that didn't is the mayonnaise and the cheese.
The mayonnaise came from Duke's.
I will give you guys this recipe at a later date. I just wanted to kind of show a day of everything coming from our garden.
Look at that cheese in that squash casserole.
So, I've got cucumbers and onions that came from the garden in vinegar on this as a side dish. We got squash casserole. I'm going to cook up some cabbage. This beautiful cabbage. I'm so excited about the cabbage. And these potatoes came from our garden. The stew beef and the roast came. Ooh, I bet it smoked up the camera.
Do you have smell-o-vision?
And I'm going to fry some squash, I think.
There we go.
So we're going to have squash 2 different ways.
Sounds good, Mom.
But everything here, except for the bread and a few items in this casserole, came from our garden. Oh yeah, you gotta show them that. I took that to church last night. The icing's coming off on the tin foil.
Geez, look at that. Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
Oh, yes.
All right.
We'll be back in a little bit.
Okay, so I told you guys we're on baby watch, so we're going to check and see if we're any closer to having a new baby calf than we were yesterday. No calf yet. This is the one we're watching.
Red cow.
The red cow. Her udders are swollen and filling up with milk, so she's getting close.
Any day now.
Any day now. Okay, y'all. There is the squash casserole that we've already been digging in. It's not even supper time yet, but we've already been digging in it. It's so good. There is my cabbage cooking up, and my potatoes are cooking. I've got a squash in that bowl getting ready to go in the flour. And there, whoops, hang on. There is the roast beef cooking up. Bryant took it out and sliced it because it was not the kind of roast, you know, I'm not good at knowing the names of roast, but it was not the kind of roast that just falls apart. It's one of those that you have to slice. So he took it out and sliced it and then put it back in the juice. So, and let me show you this. Right here, these are cucumbers and onions from our garden. And the squash is from our garden. The potatoes, I'm not sure how the potatoes are going to be because I know you're supposed to let them cure. So we'll just see how they're going to be. The cabbage was from our garden. the squash and squash casserole, and the squash we're fixing to fry. So everything we're eating tonight, with the exception of the breadcrumbs and cheese and mayonnaise on the squash casserole and our bread, is coming from our farm. Here are the cucumbers I did this morning. I ended up with 14 pints. I'm counting this as 2 pints, so since I did the majority in pints, there's some back here. Since I did the majority in pints, I'm just calling them all pints. And there's one up there. I'm still researching to see when they're going to be ready to taste. But we may get into this one pretty soon, even if they're not ready. So, and all my pickled beets are up here. And there's some back behind the cucumbers there. The pickles. So y'all, this gardening season so far has been a success. Okay, y'all, here is our complete meal from our farm, with the exception of the bread and the breadcrumbs and cheese and mayonnaise in the casserole. But there's a squash casserole, squash straight out of our garden. Potatoes dug today early. We weren't ready to dig potatoes, but we wanted some for our supper. The cabbage I harvested today, and this is how I cook mine. I kind of saute, fry it type.
That's on another recipe.
And yes, we'll do another video on. We'll do all these recipes another time.
No, you've already done the cabbage.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Oh. And there is our fried squash straight out of the garden. And Mr. Moo Cow that we butchered. And a sliced tomato from our garden. And I believe that's it. We did good, Dad.
A lot of hard work, but it paid off.
From farm to table.
From
literally.
farm. Okay, thank you guys for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. Come back and I'll show you these recipes sometime soon. Thank you. It's just a day of hodgepodge stuff.
Hit the bell.
And remember, the grease is hot enough. You can fry anything.